Board of Education to order. We'll open with a moment of silence. Please take this time to say a prayer for our kids and staff entering their second week of testing, and have a moment of silence, then we'll get started. All right, thank you. And now for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I like it a lot better when we got a student here to lead us doing that. All right, now our mission and vision statement. Dr. Weeks.
Our mission is that we are designed to help every student succeed in life, and our vision is that we will enable all students to reach high academic and career standards while empowering them to succeed in a culturally diverse and technologically advanced society.
Good job, thank you. All right. All right, so tonight we have one item on the agenda, discussion and approval of bid tab 1548, West Side Elementary School, additions and renovations project. And Ms. Darnell, I want to thank you for getting your team here tonight. It's been a long time coming. It was when I first got on the board. Ms. Darnell gave me a tour. West Side was one of the schools I had never been in, but was in my district. And I asked her, I said, show me around, but show me the stuff that needs work too. And she's very proud of her building and her staff, but she did show me the stuff that needed it. And so I'm very proud that we finally got to the point where we have something we can vote on to help them out. So Dr. Weeks.
Board members, as was just mentioned, this is a carryover item from our last meeting. And we had talked about coming together just to talk specifically about the West Side project. Again, we looked at numbers that we received. Bid tab 1548 is in your packets there by your desk. We received low bids from 8612, 8.6 million 12 from Boger Construction, all the way up to the high bid was 10050 from W.E. O'Neill Company, and several in between. I think there was a request to look at a basic floor plan and some elevation drawings, so I did send you those. I think you had the full 200 or so page packet before that, so hopefully just the elevation drawing and the floor plan helped you look to see what would actually be done and how that was taken care of. So be glad to open it up for any discussion that you might have, but if you're ready to proceed, our recommendation would be to accept low bid from Boger Construction, $8.612 million on that.
Alrighty.
Again, we'll talk about funding as we go along.
We can do that after the vote.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, and we'll open it up for discussion. And Ms. Connie, I thought if you'd like to speak on it, because I know you've been talking about it since before I was on board.
Okay, ladies, are you tired of seeing me come in? Okay, we're gonna get this. We're gonna get this done. Okay. Yeah, it's something needed badly.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm excited to see the new cafeteria, I think, most of all.
Well,
That new wing's going to be awesome, but the cafeteria above ground is going to be nice. So,
Can we have just, I noticed there were several phases when I was looking at the drawings. There was different phases. Could we just have a quick timeline just so everybody knows, not dates, but like phase 1 is going to be an overview, phase 2 is this, phase 3 is this. Is that easy to do?
Clint, could you speak to that?
Yeah, I mean, well, so phase 1 is also obviously the new addition. There's 14 months of duration as of now on that. The plan would be to get that up out of the ground, get it complete, take the students out of either D Hall or C Hall, one wing, move them over to the new wing, begin a 4-month renovation on the existing wing, do the same thing with the next wing once that's complete. So you're looking at 14, 4, and 4. And then the main hall, that shorter duration after the summer. And so, you've got a pretty long duration there, but you're doing basically a full addition and renovation in this project. So, like I said, 14 months, 4 months, and another 4 months to get it all done. Everybody's in a newly renovated or added wing.
The only part we're not touching is the wing built in the 90s, right?
That's correct.
Did we talk about doing the flooring or something in that building? Because something, when we walked it, it was in the wing that's built. No, so we're not touching that wing at all.
In the floor, that in that newer section.
That's what I thought when we walked it, it was.
It's all
pretty bad. So we don't have anything in that one, for that wing in this.
They'll work on that wing as far as this project is concerned.
That's like-
That could be a summer job, like we could probably, I mean, I do agree it does look bad, but that would be, I mean, we're talking about cosmetics really there, I mean,
So maybe we do something, but I would hate to do that, everything we're gonna do, and you walk down that hallway and you're like, would y'all forget this hallway? I think maybe I'll put that on down, you know, and that's where we're going. Because I don't think that'll be that bad, while the people are there doing the renovation on the other side.
maybe for the last renovation, like, put floors on that phase 3
Because
possibly.
I remember it wasn't good. It was-
Yeah, no, it looks,
Yeah.
yeah. It didn't hold, it seemed like that 90s floor didn't hold up as good as some of the 60s wing.
Usually doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's something we could go back and look at, yeah, for the last phase.
So we're adding, total classrooms that we're adding is 7? 7 classrooms.
Plus a cafeteria and kitchen, that's an associated office.
And an office, yeah. Yeah,
And a set of restrooms, yeah. I was noticing in one of the drawings, like in the boys' restroom, is it normal, looks like there's 3 urinals and 1 stall. Is that pretty standard? I wonder if we ought to do more stalls versus urinals in that age group. It's just something small we can look
You
at.
got 3 and 3 on the existing, which you do have to have one handicap, so.
Yeah, and it looked like in the boys, there was 1 handicap and then 3 urinals. It's the only thing that really caught my attention as far as the drawings. But I'm sure that's easy, something we can, you know, look at as it gets going.
I'll just look at that, I think the bathrooms are supposed to be the size of 3 cars.
Well, that's something,
You just got to do them.
and maybe I'll look at the one.
Some of the.
Oh, you know what? That's the existing.
That's there now is going to have to change.
That's what I'm looking at. You're right. It's the shaded area, so that's the existing. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. That's what I'm-
Restroom should be the same size as 3 cars. That we just got done doing.
Yeah, it looks like 3 and 3. Okay, good. I didn't really have a whole lot, other than the campus itself. That's a pretty good size plot of land.
Yeah.
So there could be some future things there, I would think, you know, if we decide to do something down the road or whatever. That's a pretty good campus.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
lot's a
have
lot bigger than I thought.
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't
a
know we had
nice-
that corner lot, so.
Yeah. I didn't have anything else unless anybody else did. I mean, the timeline was what I was kind of curious about.
Yeah, it's a pretty long duration, but it is, you are working on basically 3 different buildings.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of,
And we talked about when we get to renovating the old part, we'll be able to completely separate that so we don't have to worry about the dust getting in from the renovation part, getting in where the kids will be, because this has the asbestos concrete ceilings, which isn't dangerous unless you go to cutting on it, you know, so we got to make sure that's completely sealed
Yeah.
off if anybody's going to be in the building while we're doing these.
Kids will not be in the building unless it's being taken out.
Okay.
and we did some heating and air in there recently, hadn't we?
We're doing that right now.
And that's still usable. You know, what we're doing is going to be usable.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the existing wings are more, they're not all cosmetic, but they are more cosmetic. It's ceilings, taking out the lockers, taking out the old clear
Windows.
windows,
Yeah.
floor, that kind of thing. Mechanically, whether we're not changing them plumbing wise, HVAC wise in the rooms, that'll all be done.
Yeah, they really hurt for storage there. But,
Oh, yeah. And as far as the flow of the school, I'm assuming the staff and administration there has looked and everything good with the cafeteria being on this side. And, I mean, everything, what you don't want to do is like, oh, where's this office going to be? Oh, it's way away from the kids. Or I looked at it, of course, I don't really think like you guys do it every day in the school, but just want to make sure that there's nothing that you guys saw that was, you know, maybe needed to be a different spot or didn't look right or.
Ms. Darnell, did you have any comments? Yeah.
The only thing I couldn't remember about the adult bathrooms, were there adult bathrooms? I know we talked about kid bathrooms, but were there going to be adult bathrooms? That's the only thing I don't think I saw, the drawings.
Y'all have to use it during the day? Y'all got time for that?
Yeah.
We'll keep that one across from the offices for you to use now. No, I'm kidding. The one that you can't even open the doors, what I'm talking about. Thank you.
Yeah.
We do
Please
need
don't.
it, I mean, I feel like we need more bathrooms. If we want to get bathrooms, make one of those toilets, we'll talk.
Are the ones you're talking about can't get in the door, are they due for the remodeling one of the, when we redo the hallway?
You talking about the one on the side of office?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, that's the one we're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
That room remains as of right now.
yeah.
Right.
So there could be some little things like that we can look at. I mean, that's not, I mean, yeah, it wouldn't change this. I mean, it would change it some, obviously, but not enough to.
And we've got a year plus before we get to that point. So that would be like voting on a change order, basically, like to add or do.
Yeah.
All right, board members, is there any further discussion? All right,
Here we go.
Call for the question.
I'd like to make a motion
all right.
that we approve.
We have a question.
Do you have a question? See, raise his hand.
Uh-oh.
Excuse me.
I just confer with Clint, we met with them, and we gave them a low voltage estimate for that building, but this bid did not include the low voltage. We can't make that mistake again, we did that at Greenbrier. All the low voltage will have to be practically replaced in that building, and we estimated that at about $500,000. I'm afraid that's not in this bid, I need you to be aware of that.
But that would be the same with all these bids, like, so if,
Yes, sir, it'd be the same.
Okay.
I don't think any of them bid on low voltage that I know about.
you're talking about replacing all the wiring on the,
Network, intercom, phones, cameras,
okay,
all that wiring when they renovate and tear those ceilings out and all that.
Yeah.
It's ceiling mounted, there's no,
yeah,
so there's gonna be, we need to pay attention to the fire alarm, but I'm sure they may have that in that bid, but the fire alarms,
Fire alarm is,
other low voltage is not generally in the contractor's bid.
so, okay. Well, it's saying, no matter, I mean, no matter what bid we approve, we're gonna be looking at that happening, so.
So we just
Okay.
had that problem at Greenbrier?
Yes, sir.
Same architect did Greenbrier, did this one?
Yes, sir.
We gotta have that conversation.
Yeah,
Or either move away from it.
Well, it was financed differently in the big scheme of things. This was done yes or not, the way y'all are doing this job. Normally, there's a percentage of the job allowed for low voltage. The architect normally builds that in. This architect hasn't been real good at doing that. So we got it built in the Coopertown job. It was taken out of the Greenbrier job, I believe, because of money. It was a limited estimate. But I sure didn't want to get this time. I think.
yeah,
Okay, so that's good to know.
okay. So that could, okay. I'm okay with it, knowing
Oh,
that
yeah.
could come up. I mean, I don't think.
This
we'd have
is,
to
this
stop
is
it.
the same contractor as Greenbrier? Okay,
Same architect,
same architect. Okay,
The
good.
contract only does what the architect tells him to do.
yeah,
So it starts there,
yeah.
in my opinion.
Well, that don't make me feel any better.
Yeah.
I mean, it really don't.
And that may be another
Just
meeting.
remember what you vote on, you're voting on a low bid. That's what you get.
school specific low voltage is very rarely in a general construction contract. All schools are different, they carry fire alarm, they will carry phone and data, usually it's not a school. This budget was $15 million to start with, that's what we had in mind, we came in well under that. The abatement, the low volt, and the furniture are not in this bid. All that comes separate.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as we know, we can make that work. Yeah.
But I appreciate knowing beforehand. All right, board members, we have a motion to approve by Ms. Connie Hogan for bid tab 1548, approving the bid by Boger Construction. Ms. Connie, low bid for $8.612 million.
Second.
Second by Mr. Scott Rice. All approved, say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Now, Move on the discussion to funding and future meetings.
Yes, sir. Board members, as you look at the back of our 5-year facility plan, first of all, on the front side of there, you see, just as a reminder for you, those things that you have set aside and prioritized and that we're working toward cleaning up and getting some of those taken care of and knocked out. And again, I'm glad to see that we are making a lot of progress on that and doing so quickly. On the back page, the IA renovation project, again, we have had some conversations with county finance, county mayor, and Ms. Sheila and I have spent a lot of time with them. And you see the top line, the bid tab you approved at the April meeting. You see that's going to be taken care of, and we're already on track for that. We'll be having a meeting with county finance meeting next week, talking to them about that, and then they hope to schedule some meetings early May. We talked to them about cash flow being of essence to us so that we can get that project started just like we had talked about, hopefully as soon as students are out of there. County finances said that they feel very comfortable with that, and they look forward to that, working with us on that. The next several items that you see listed on there are all a combination of things that we have talked about here, or say things that I have found on my desk since I have been here in December, or things that people have talked to us about and are major projects that we need to get taken care of. So let's go through that list real quickly if you don't mind. West Side additions and renovations, with your approval tonight, that bid of $8.612 million. And the items below there. There was already a commitment to work on the HVAC system at Woodall. We have an estimate, you see that, of approximately $4 million. The Woodall playground will be removed and relocated. We'd had some conversations about doing that. We have a quote on that. You see that about $35,000. IA parking lot, I think we talked about last meeting. There were some poor soil underneath that, and they're going to have to scrape off about a foot and do some recompacting, bring in some more rock there. We have a quote, $107,222 to take care of that. The Teal hallway at Coopertown Elementary, completing HVAC, approximately $600,000. I wish you would put a star by the Coopertown Elementary, Coopertown Middle Ball Field. You had tentatively approved a bid of $1.014 million on that, and we had talked about the possibility of moving that back to our campus at Coopertown Middle School to get that on one campus so that all of our middle school sports team could benefit from that. We have estimates of very minimally $250,000 all the way up to $1 million to take care of that. So redesigning where that ball field is, bringing in field dirt, rearranging some things, putting all the lights and all the facilities on that ball field that we had talked about, the new concession stand, lights, and all of those items. So I know we can't vote on anything and make decisions on that tonight because that's not part of tonight's agenda, but those numbers did come to us. $250,000 on the low end, all the way up to $1 million to get it all into a complex, if you will. Personally, I hate to spend $2 million on a single ball field to be put on either one of our campuses. I think we can be better stewards of our money than that.
I don't know if you want to go through the list and we'll go back and ask
Well,
questions.
let me do that,
Yeah.
sure, if you don't mind. We have visited, in our visits to schools, I think I shared with you that Joe Burns Middle School is the gym, the old gym, needs some flooring work. We have a quote to take care of that at $41,000. Springfield High, the auxiliary gym, we have a quote on that, $64,000. And again, those are as of November. I hope those quotes would hold. Maybe, maybe not. Might go up a little bit, possibly. Cheatham Park, we need some gym repairs there, estimated at $20,000. Chrysler Elementary needs some gym floor repairs, estimated at $100,000. Left a blank there for land purchase, which is on our 5-year plan. If you've been to Greenbrier Elementary School, the tectum work up underneath the outer exits being damaged, it's coming out, it's looking bad. Birds are getting up in there and roosting in that, and that's a mess up in there. We have, at least the board's made some commitments to match some funds that schools have saved for some school signs, and again, those are kind of individual. We're looking at bids and quotes on those at this point in time. If you take a look at just that list where you see actual numbers in there, or estimated numbers in there, you see the total of that comes to $14.5 million and some change. I believe if this board would authorize us to do so, unless there are other priorities that the board has or the board would like to do, I think we are in a good position to talk to county finance about possibly how we can work approximately $15 million, either working that with county finance and talking to our bond managers and our financial advisors through there.
So talking about a $15 million bond?
That we believe we can easily do that. Again, we've had some preliminary conversations with them. And so this board could either do that in two directions. We could simply stick with the 8.7 or maybe even go to $9 million to take care completely of West Side and leave it at that completely. Or we could go ahead and try to pick up the other roughly $6 million and take care of this entire list of projects. I feel very comfortable that county finance is supportive of that and feel very good about that. And so if this board wants to either add to the motion that was just approved, we can approach finance and go ahead and have some more serious discussions about that, or we can take the West Side number that's actually approved and approach county finance with that number. We're going to, all of the lists of items that you see there have been things that I've at least seen some commitments for and do have high priorities. There was a little discussion earlier about, well, was there not some plans drawn for this building and expanding Phoenix Academy? Yes, there are. We've not done anything with financing on that, but there are so many larger things here that need some attention. Again, from what I gathered from your conversation, and I'm going to flip back over to the back of that page, Phoenix Academy, central office and everything, transportation facility, Greenbrier High School gym and athletic facilities were last on that list. If we take a look at everything on that list, and I'm going to put again a question mark or an asterisk by the Coopertown Elementary ball fields, I believe we can easily take care of everything there except the land purchase for, if we were to approach county finance asking for guidance on which direction they would carry us with $15 million. So,
I think that makes sense. We were looking at a $25 million bond just for these two projects.
right.
And they came in under bid, so it would make sense to me to use at least some of that balance towards getting some of this other stuff done.
I agree, and I would argue, I don't think anybody on the board would, as far as going ahead and taking care of everything. Many of these projects were undoubtedly overdue, so going ahead and getting them done. I'll say this, I think these are all obviously priorities that we've been talking about for a long time. I just want to bring to mind, front of mind for everybody, I know we've got a land purchase or build out there kind of at an unspecified date. From my end of the county, I'm very concerned about the amount of growth in White House. I just want to keep that front of mind for everybody because I feel like I know nothing happens overnight as far as these projects go. I know both elementary schools by this fall will probably have portables on campus. So by all means, I'm 1,000% behind everything on this list, assuming we work out little, whatever gray areas there may be, but something is probably going to come to a head in White House sooner than later, and I just want to make sure that we're planning for that, whatever needs to be done.
And I do think the good thing about that, Mr. White, is that if we can take care of this list, and again, these are just items that have been, I know, piled up on Mr. Corbin's and Mr. Finch's desks and work areas. These are things that, again, were kind of left for me and looking at. I think we can kind of put these dollars toward that. I don't know that we can take care of everything, because there's some blanks down there at the bottom, and we don't know exactly what they are. The Coopertown Elementary ball field, again, that's, I know we had approved the one, or you had approved the $1.0 million less the change order. And I know there's some discussion and some feelings about that. So, other than that, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, this would be one opportunity to kind of take care of those. Multiple projects going on at one time, maybe we could get some economies of scale for doing that, and just, get these taken care of. And then certainly it's time to, I drove through White House this afternoon, and it just continues to amaze me, the amount of building that goes on there. We get something monthly from City Recorder Hobbs, and we talk pretty regularly about that, and it's a lot.
I agree, Josh. I think we've talked about maybe on the Heritage Campus doing a 5 through 8, that to try to decompress the schools. And I think we're going to have to do it. So you got my support too when we're ready to do that. The Coopertown ball field, is there an option? I know this is going back to, I don't want to send us completely back to the drawing board. Is there an option for just putting the field back?
Yeah, I think when I looked, I think actually we approved 800-something thousand. I don't think we approved all phases, which included the press box and all that. I
Yeah.
think the approval was for 800-something thousand, not the full
Right.
million.
Yeah.
By the way, don't change this fact that, so I guess people looked at it are telling us dirt work's gonna be 250,000 to,
That's just looking at what's there, we got to build it up. That'd be in addition to what was already approved utility-wise, field-wise. You just pick that field up and move it over, already got that done. But in order to make it work at another site, it's another 250.
Do we have to move utilities now if we're just building a field and bleachers?
You definitely got to have the power there. You
Yeah.
have to be able to do something with the water, you need more water, which you're probably.
so if that's the case, because we approved it based on building on that site.
Yeah.
And so how do we undo that, start again? Because that's not going to, there's a big difference between 250 up to $1 million.
Right.
And so if we're going to do it, we're going to have to bid it at that site.
Right.
And not just assume, because I think that's where we got in trouble. So we're going to have to scrap the thing and start again, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Or we can go back and look at that bid and say, we're just going to put a ball field up and some lights. But again, you're talking still $500,000 or $600,000.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of, kind of in a mess to go back and look at it completely out on that site. What do you?
The architectural drawings will transfer, that's fine. It's the civil drawings that would have to be re-engineered. Anything the grant wasn't funded. So re-engineering would have to be done on the civil side because it is a different site.
And so, and we pay for that anyway, right?
Right.
That comes up, that's on the front end before we do a bid. And that kind of money, what did we spend on the last one? I don't remember.
I'd have to go back and see what they had in there, I'm not sure that exactly.
I don't know what other people think, but I just almost think that whole thing needs to be looked at again and rebid on that site. Because apparently, these numbers don't add up. These that I can't approve.
I think you got an excellent idea.
Yeah. I think we're going to have to.
I think we
So
need
do
to
we have to
start.
have I know we don't do it tonight, but in our next board meeting, will we have to officially make a motion to
Rescind.
rescind that
Rescind
bid?
that approval and start over.
That's gonna, I'll get a lot of phone calls on that.
Well, last time we found out, now there's a group that doesn't want it, so they're just aiming down the middle, and we're going to delay what we are doing. So that's a. But, I want to say that, I don't know a lot about all these projects, but I do know that some of them, like, the HVAC at Woodall, we can't let that school grow mold. I mean, that's what happens when that HVAC goes down. That's dangerous. These gym floors, the ones I know about, Joe Burns Middle School gym floor is not just a gym floor that's in bad shape, it's a gym floor that's eaten up with termites. They're not able to use it right now, and the middle schoolers effectively don't have a gym right now. So if we're gonna have a combined middle and high school, you have to have a gym and gym space for middle school. So, you know, you see these gym floor issues, or I know the public might, and they might say, well, why are we worrying about that, you know? But each one of these, there's a pressing story behind every one of these items, and even the school signs. Might sound silly, but a sign is $30,000 now. We can't ask a PTO to raise $30,000 to put a sign up, and when our schools are doing more and more and more outreach and trying to, you know, inform parents, stuff like that, and it's good they want to be involved in the community. So that's why I spoke up and said, schools like Joe Burns or Chrysler that need signs, we shouldn't expect their PTOs to pay for it. When we build schools, we put them big, nice new signs up. So that's where that comes from.
I'll agree. All those small, I don't want to use the word small, but when you see that compared to everything else, I mean,
Yeah.
to me,
Yeah.
that needs to be done.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure we even have to
Yeah, we're just deciding tonight to put it in a bond.
spend a lot of time, you know, to do it.
Yeah.
And I think that's, you know, I guess that's essentially our recommendation is that if this board would authorize us, just like you did last time, to approach county finance and take care of the IAA project, if this board would authorize us to go ahead, as a part of the motion that you made, Ms. Connie, to, you know, to go ahead and include, up to $15 million. And again, we prioritize the list. This is a list of items. Again, the Coopertown ball field comes off, then, you know, maybe school signs and the GES soffit goes on, or parking lots go on. You know, I appreciate the confidence you've given us to take care of that and manage that with finance, and Ms. Kleinert stepped out, but she's been great at helping that, and Ms. Jody over at the finance office has been wonderful to work with. And you know, I think they're excited about the possibilities of us going ahead and taking care of these. This knocks off several of those things that, you know, is going to come out of our normal budget, which again is going to allow some flexibility in the budget to take care of some other items that principals have asked for as well. So, you know, if the Coopertown thing comes out and we go back and remove that money, but I do think it's important that we do have a list of items that are potential, so that when we do go to budget committee, when we go to finance committee, when we go to the full county commission, they want to see a list of things that will be taken care of. And I know one ball field might, it's a relatively small piece of the puzzle, but whether it's that one ball field, or whether it's parking lots, or whether it's school signs, or whether it's new land for a new school, you know, I think they understand and they can look at that and say, yes, these are things that the school system is moving forward with, taking care of some old maintenance that needed to be, that has come up and need to be taken care of and get off the plate. And then again, that'll allow us to modify this at some point in time and head toward the future, instead of just looking back on things that need to be corrected.
Can we do that in the form of a new motion instead of amending a previous motion, or what would be your recommendation? It would need a vote again either way, wouldn't it?
The only action item that we could vote on tonight was discussion of the bid tab and approving that bid.
So just a verbal on the,
I guess you could authorize that, and we could come back and report to you
Did we put a limit on what we wanted you to go and talk to them about financing when we voted on that? Why wouldn't that original motion that we made for you all to go up cover it all?
I'm trying to think, the motion that you approved in April, I believe, was just for IA, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right? I think,
The last meeting was just IA.
okay.
To my memory, it was just IA. Yeah.
And so I guess tonight you could consider amending the motion that was
Okay.
approved to allow us to approach the county commission for West Side and bid tab 1548, and then,
okay, so the previous motion was to approve bid tab Wood 548, the bid by Boger Construction for $8.612 million. On the table, we are voting on to amend that motion to also say that Dr. Weeks has permission to approach the county about a bond of $15 million to include other projects.
Let's just use the word financing instead of bond, because they
Financing,
might
okay.
encourage us to use some of our fund
Oh.
balance, they might encourage us to use otherwise. So if we don't mind using the word financing instead of a bond.
$15 million in financing to include other projects.
And that would only give us a little bit, doing some quick math, so 8, 5 plus another 14. So we got the low voltage and furniture, which we would, anything over 15 million for these two projects, I guess we would cover out of fund balance to do the furniture and the low voltage, which wouldn't be that much more, but
Right. The 14,593 is the total for those items.
for those two
including,
bids,
uh,
okay.
The low voltage is probably going to have to be a vote later, like maybe even a year down the road when they start, like, I think that's probably going to be a separate vote. We have to vote on months down the road, so we couldn't include it in this bond right now, I don't
Okay.
believe. But
Is that what we need to do tonight, just those two?
Oh.
And that, make it 15 million, and so you can go to something, go to them next week? Is that what we're?
That'd be nice.
Okay. All right, board members, do we have any further discussion or a motion regarding that amendment?
I don't know that we can do that amendment. You're widening up. It's not that I'm not against that amendment. I don't, can you poll the board later on? I mean, you know what you want us to do. But I don't know. I'm not a Robert's Rules of Order guru. Is there one here? And I know we don't have to follow it to the T, but we have a very specific and narrow special meeting that I don't know that we can authorize you to do something that's not on that agenda. Do you understand where I'm
I
going?
certainly do, yes, sir. I respect that. Very
My
much.
wishes is that you will do that and report back to us. But if you need that in the form of a motion, I don't know that we can do it, and I'd hate to pass a motion that we can't pass.
And I don't think it's that, now that I'm sitting there thinking about it, you've got two approvals.
We've already approved
Total
both
is.
bids, yeah.
So you take them both to the county commission, and they
Yeah.
they can add it up and decide.
There you go.
So I don't think we're really technically,
I think that's the best way to do it right there, sir. Just,
we've got two bids.
you
that
tell
we've
them what you
approved.
need.
Instead of making it into one, you got two motions that total up to the 14,
No, they total up to,
14.5.
14.1
Yeah.
or so, yeah.
yeah.
And obviously in discussions, there could be, by the way, down the road, we gotta add this and this that we may cover anyway, just so everybody's on the same page.
I'm
Let's
very
rescind the amendment for now, but I would say, for the purpose of minutes, let's have verbal approval. Does the board verbally give approval? We're not making a motion. We're not saying, do we give approval for him to talk to county finance to bring up the number 15 million? I'm chairman, I'm asking for verbal approval. I give my verbal approval if you're okay with him just talking. Any
I guess
approval?
I guess that's the reason I said, why don't we let him poll the board members?
I can do that.
Separately?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll be glad to do
Well,
that.
I'll say it publicly, I'm okay with it.
Oh, yeah, I'm good with it. I mean,
Okay.
either way.
I think all of us are. It's just what we can and can't vote on.
We're not voting on
I'm
it,
not that formal.
so now we're not.
Thank you, board members.
All right.
I believe we have some direction to work on the remainder of the week. Beside your desks, you see two proposals that we have received from vendors that provide construction management services. Both of those have talked to us about a guaranteed maximum price. And so you will not see and not experience change orders and things like that. I've worked personally with one of the groups that has provided services in two counties that I've worked for, and feel very comfortable with them. The second vendor is relatively new to Tennessee. They have met with superintendents in terms of a group, and especially our Middle Tennessee superintendents. We've met with them several times and talked with them. They just completed a project, I think it's in here, completed a very nice project for Franklin Special Schools, and the director of schools there has recommended, has some letters of recommendation in there too. Mr. Charles is leading a review of these two documents, so we're going to prepare a table for you that kind of shows what's included, what's not included. If we see something that one highlights and the other one does not highlight out, but I placed one of those by each one of your desks. I'd like you to take a look at those, and if you have some input, if you'd share that with Mr. Sarles, please. And then again, we try to have some recommendations based on your input and our reviews for you at our next meeting.
The only other question I had on that list, just real quick, it caught my attention last time you said it, so the parking lot IA, I'm trying to figure out how we're responsible for him running into rock or whatever. I mean, he bid it, and I'm assuming he did his homework. So how's he coming back with $100,000 more because he ran into some complications? Is that standard? I mean, to me,
Construction project has no rock falls in it. I mean, it's very standard.
I think you'll find some little writing somewhere that covers that.
no,
We did run into that same thing with whoever the builder was at Watauga. And if y'all remember, we had to dig out a large area at Watauga and build it back with riprap and then smaller rock.
It's the same here, right? That's-
Okay, yes, you
This
did.
area, I mean, you put a shovel in the ground, you're gonna come across rock. Now, the extent of it, you won't know until you open up the site. And that's-
okay, I was just asking, it's pretty
and that's when
normal.
That's when that happens. It's very few projects around here where going into some sort of rock removal or underground.
That is a big one for that job, though. Board members, if anybody doesn't have anything else, make a motion to adjourn.
We're not voting on anything, not even that bid tab?
We did. You did. We did. Connie and
That's right,
Scott.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. We did, I did get crossed off.
They're talking about it.
I know, yeah, we don't want to gavel for that stuff. All right. Thank y'all.
Yeah, that's right.